Welcome to the latest installment in our groundbreaking Dream Season series. This year, we wanted to take a look at how all of our team members balance their hunting life with their personal life. Our team is spending more time than ever outdoors. Consequently, they're all spending less time indoors. Now, whether that means less time with their full-time job, less time with their kids, or less time with their spouse, it really takes a toll on all of us. Our team members are creative though. They're not content to turn their backs on their jobs, their friends, or their families. They're turning it around and getting their personal life actively involved with their hunting life. By incorporating family members and friends into their hunt, they're not only able to share some real quality time with them, but they are strengthening the sport of hunting overall. We hope you enjoy this look at how our team members mix reality hunting with their reality lifestyle.
It was easy for us to see that the Wildlife Eye was by far our number one tool for pattern whitetails. Knowing what we have and where we have particular deer. It's been huge for us this year with the Wildlife Eye. We've got on more bucks with the cameras than ever before. You know, early season Texas, it's hot. The deer are moving at night primarily, and you know, without these cameras, these infrared cameras going into some of these areas, we wouldn't have had a clue on half the bucks that we have. You know, the age structure, when it's the heat of the moment and it all happens so quick. You know, you don't, here in Texas, we don't want to make mistakes shooting deer before they're prime. You know, you get on these deer, you haven't ever seen them before, and it's real easy to make a mistake. It's allowed us to, you know, to be able to judge on the hoof before we go into these sets and try to hunt the deer. You know, when we go in and hunt, you know, we've already seen Crabby or Cujo, the nosebleed stud, the tank monster, and a handful of these other bucks that aren't ready to be shot. It's definitely improved our management. You know, without a doubt, I'm confident I can say real quick, the Wildlife Eye is our number one tool that we have in our bag. Show you how to get the shacklets shine. After we got all our gear loaded up in the truck, we were more or less ready to head out. We were definitely on a mission, the mission to harvest the nosebleed stud. After last year's encounter, the last day, the last evening, really the last hour of season, my wife and I encountered or got on the nosebleed stud. Not sure what happened, but for whatever reason, we couldn't close the deal. Another year, 05, we're headed to the nosebleed, the elusive nosebleed stud. He's probably a mid-140 animal, and for Central Texas, for this ranch, I'm gonna talk about this low-fence seal catcher ranch. He's a pig. With a little bit of luck, we're gonna make it happen. Just for precautionary measures, I wanted to go over course 101 with my wife on how to work the camera again. Make sure that once it came down the moment of truth, she was going to be doing her part.
All right, here we go. We're trying to get pumped up. It's tough because it's hot. Either way, opening morning, 05, October 1st, Central Texas. We just climbed up in this Texas live oak. It's October 1st, and it is hot. This is definitely going to test out our scent blocker suits. I think what might give us the extra edge is that scent blocker formulated a special hair and body gel they call Jack's Magic Special Magic Gel. I definitely had that in my bag of tricks this morning.
It didn't take long, and that sun started creeping up. We did have some clouds. It was overcast, but it was starting to get light enough to where we could see.
record rainfall throughout Texas, really. And when those rivers came up, it really limited us to access most of this ranch, including this particular area. Today, the wildlife eyes, we just had tons of video of him. We knew he was in here. First day of the season, and we just absolutely shot a pig of a whitetail for Central Texas.
We climbed down out of that tree, and we really didn't give him any time. We knew it was such a great shot, and he ran directly out away from us through the oaks, and we knew he couldn't be far. In fact, we didn't even have to track him. We got down the tree, and from a distance, we could see him across this open flat through these oaks, crunched up or barreled over right there on the cedar line. With the help of the wildlife eye, anybody who's had some success and actually made effort to use the wildlife eye would quickly agree they're addictive. In August, when the deer were still in velvet, these deer were, in their bachelor groups, they're pretty easy to pattern. Once you found them, they were hanging out in certain areas and they weren't moving. And sure enough, the nosebleed stud was one of the larger deer hanging out in this area. And we knew these deer were in here, and we stuck to our guns, and sure enough, we made it happen. This was definitely the first high of the season. For me to, be able to share this experience with my wife, having her behind the camera, and her doing such a great job, it's extremely rewarding.
Whether I'm in front of the camera or behind the camera, they're both awesome. They're fun. It's exciting to be in either position, but at the same time, they both present their own challenges as well.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
We're going out to kill a big buck, hopefully. We'll see.
Hey, this way.
Ow! I was actually very excited that morning because I knew what stand we were going to, the Tank Dam stand. It's one of my favorite stands. It was great. I knew I was behind the bow and not behind the camera that morning, and I was fired up. We got settled in. Before we knew it, it was light, and we started seeing some deer filtering through the oaks. We were actually just kind of in a daze, enjoying the morning and watching all the deer activity that was going on around us. And from out of nowhere, we have this gorgeous buck standing about 15 yards in front of us, right in my shooting lane. I was so excited. This was my first buck, and it was a great feeling. There's no denying it. It was an absolutely awesome feeling. This is my first buck, and I'm extremely excited. After reviewing the footage, we went back to camp for a little bit and came on back out to look for him and started following the trail, and he made us work for this, and in this hot November weather, it was incredible. So I can't tell you how good it feels to actually walk up on this guy. He is absolutely beautiful, and I couldn't be more excited to have this be my first buck.
Good job, baby. Give me a kiss. Here we were, Ingrid's first buck. We shared the experience together, and she loved it. She enjoyed it so much, which was, a plus for both of us, having these great experiences in the outdoors, doing something that we enjoy to do together.
Today's opening day of muzzleloader season, and John and Dave are kind enough to let me have the evening hunt tonight. So we're lucky to have Grandma here tonight to babysit the kids. John has a muzzleloader tag too, so I probably can go out and see some deer.
Alrighty, well, this has been a long-awaited hunt. This is Susie's first deer hunt in Iowa ever. We have the right conditions. We have a northwest wind. Temperatures are dropping. It's supposed to be a low of 40 tonight. So we're hoping that will get the deer moving. We're hunting the magical bean field, and you know, it's been good to us in the past. I'm hoping to leverage some of that luck from the past and hopefully bring us some luck tonight. So we'll see what happens. I'm pretty excited for Susie's hunt.
When we walk in today, we're going to check the wildlife eye. So hopefully we'll be able to see some deer on there. So hopefully there's some deer in that area that will come in tonight. Just getting ready. Got to put my scent blocker on. I don't think John would let me step in the woods without my scent blocker.
So walking in, we don't even get 75 yards from the truck and we already see deer out in the field. There's a couple of does out there already. They're obviously out feeding early. That should be a good sign for tonight, I think.
Yeah, that's great.
We pulled the camera out of the wildlife eye. We already know we have a really nice 10-pointer that we watched the other night on TV. It got us really excited about Susie's hunt. And so we figured we'll take it to the blind, see if anything else has showed up since then. And we'll go from there. So see what happens. We're here in our favorite little bean field. And we've already got deer coming through. We just reviewed our wildlife eye footage, and we have several mature deer, a couple of really nice bucks. This is Susie's first Iowa muzzleloader deer hunt ever. The conditions are right. We have a great northwest wind, which is what we need for this spot. And now we just need some luck. Hopefully we'll see one of those shooters. I think that's the deer that we have that wildlife eye footage of, that we were saying we thought he might be 3.5.
Hopefully he'll come back down.
Yeah, hope so. Oh my God, there's a shooter. I don't know if it's a shooter for sure. Yeah, it is. It's at 10. Yeah, it's a shooter. Just let that door walk on. Stay calm. You're gonna get a shot here in a second. Just let him walk right in front of you.
Did you see it?
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
He's going down. He's going down.
Oh yeah, he's going down right there.
I can't believe it.
He finally did it. So in the midst of all the excitement of Susie harvesting her first buck, all of a sudden Dave, stands up to film the deer go down, and he says, "John, there's another shooter in the field. Load the gun."
Hey, there's another buck out in the field.
What?
There's another buck out in the field. Shooter buck over there to the left. John, reload. Reload.
So I'm trying to put on my orange vest, trying to load the muzzleloader, trying to be quiet. All the while, Dave's saying, "John, hurry up. John, be quiet. John, there's a shooter. John, load the gun."
He's gonna farm down there. Hurry up, get George out. There's no way he's still there. Hurry up. He's still there. Okay. All right.
Still over there.
She's still there. Yeah. Okay, he's walking, John. He's leaving the field. You want him? He just disappeared. I don't know.
After the smoke cleared, we realized the buck was laying right where we stood. And believe it or not, Susie and I harvested 2 bucks in the same bean field the same night with 1 muzzleloader.
What do you know? 2 bucks, 1 field in the same night with 1 muzzleloader. And I was supposed to be the only one hunting.
What an incredible experience. One of the greatest moments I've ever experienced in the outdoors, and to be able to do that with my lovely wife, who's been so patient and let me pursue my passion and my obsession for so many years. It was just a thrill that I'll never forget. Well, can you even believe this, Suze?
No, it was really exciting.
I would have never guessed in a million years. We set out tonight just in hopes that you'd be able to harvest a buck on video. And not only did you kill a great deer, but you killed the biggest buck that we have so far on our wildlife eye footage this fall, a great 10-pointer. And then Dave started saying, there's another shooter. And lo and behold, we looked up, and sure enough, in the back of the field, another shooter had come out. I guess he just didn't know what happened. And I made a subsequent shot and an unbelievable double with a muzzleloader on opening day of muzzleloader season in Iowa.
Very exciting.
I'll tell you, it's definitely, these are great deer, but it's not the size, the amount of the inches or the size of the rack, it's the size of the experience, and this is a hunt I will never ever forget. Thank
You're
you.
just saying that because mine's bigger.
Yours is bigger. It's a great deer. So thank you for being here with me and sharing this and sharing the great outdoors. I know you put up with Dave and I traveling all over North America, and this is the least I could do is take you out and let you share a little bit of what we love so much. So thank you. I appreciate it, and great job. I love you.
Love you. Thanks. All right, showtime for the babies.
All right.
I'm sure Madison's still awake because it's late. I guess we got home a little bit too late tonight because the kids are asleep. Madison's gonna be upset in the morning because she wanted to see Mommy's really big deer. But we'll show them in the morning. They'll be excited. Yeah, it was bigger than yours. Yours was bigger? Mine was bigger. Oh, yours was bigger? Mine was bigger.
Well, it's Sunday, day after opening day. I'm heading back to John's house. Their kids were sleeping last night when I went in, and Madison swore she'd stay up, but she couldn't make it. So when I got here to see her reaction of Mommy killing her first buck, she was sleeping with Grandma. So we'll see what she thinks of this morning.
Look who's here, Jake.
Come on, bud.
Hi, Jacob.
Who's that?
Okay, let's go take a look at Mommy's deer. Who do you think is bigger, Mom's or Dad's?
Hey,
Mom's. Of course.
you look awesome, Madison. So do you, Jacob.
Mommy got the big one. Is that cool?
Look at that, Maddie. So whose is bigger?
How right, Mom's is.
Well, your buck may be bigger, but mine's a little wider and a little rounder, kind of like me. But I'll tell you, my heart was pounding more on you harvesting your deer than anything I've ever harvested in my entire lifetime. And it was just an incredible thrill, so thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks to both you and Dave for taking me out on opening day, but I don't want you to forget mine is bigger.
Yours is bigger. Great job.
Thanks.
Love you.
Well, here we go again. 2005 youth season, and I am excited. Once I hit John's house, we load up the truck and head to the school to pick him up.
It's October 28th. I'm waiting here at school, getting ready to go in and get my grandchildren. This is Ashley's first year hunting, and Zach has been hunting with me for quite a few years. He's actually harvested bucks the last 2 years on video, but Zach's a little jealous this year because Ashley's sort of hogging in with his grandpa. Now, all these bucks are the bucks that were around Ashley's stand, and all Zach's stand had some little bucks like this one. Holy crud. Did you shoot that one, Ashley? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a nice deal. No, I'm just teasing. These are just a couple camera sets that we had You know, a year is a long time between hunting seasons, and during the off season, Zach's into competitive turkey calling. Zach has been very successful this year. He's won Iowa State Championship in the national contest at Yellville, Arkansas. We also, during the off season in the summertime and in the fall, spend a lot of time with the kids' activities, sporting activities. Ashley, my granddaughter, we took her to Walmart. We got her tag, got her all ready to go.
Well, after we pick up Ashley's tag, everything's set. We head back to John's house to do some shooting.
Tallest one, the fast one, the one.
Tallest one, you make Ashley shoot the little ones?
Yeah.
That's the kind of guy he is, Ash.
I tell you what, there was a little competition going on, I could tell.
Pull the hammer back. I know that, Ashley.
Gotta pull the hammer back.
He missed it.
No, I think he hit it, didn't he?
No, he didn't. Missed it.
Did you mess it?
Yeah.
Let's try it again.
I think he missed it again.
Zach was a little nervous because old Ashley, boy, she was drilling him.
You get it?
Yeah.
Bring it up here. I want to see. Check that. You couldn't put your finger on it and get it any closer to the center. Ashley, that was excellent.
I tell you what, I don't know who's the better shot, Zach or Ashley.
Got it that time. Way to go, Slick.
You center punched it. Later on that night, we got inside, watched the kids do their homework. I tell you what, I don't know how they could concentrate. The next day when I got up, I walked out in the living room, and what do I see? Zach and Ashley watching the Weather Channel.
What are you two doing up?
We're too grown to sleep.
How long you been up, little booby dooby?
2.
How long you been up?
Since 3:30.
3:30?
What young kids do you see get up that early to watch the Weather Channel? John's teaching them right, man. I'll tell you what. We get all our stuff together, we head out, and it's Zach's up to bat, and it's opening day. Opening day of 2005 youth season didn't go too good for Zach that day.
The deer were coming down into the biologic maximum and Clover Plus fields to feed, but just not like they had earlier in the season.
We saw a couple of small bucks and that was it. Zach had some prior commitments. Ashley was up that evening. We seen a lot of deer. Ashley was excited. She was getting to learn how to use the binoculars, using how to use the rangefinder. I tell you what, she was a trooper out there.
He has no brow tine. No, he's not a shooter. You can't shoot him, he doesn't have a brow tine. What do you think about your first day of deer hunting? This is gonna get boring if this keeps up, isn't it?
Well, unfortunately, we couldn't close the deal for Ashley. The next day, deer weren't moving. It was a bad day. I felt sorry for her.
The deer did start moving. We hunted all day yesterday, and Ashley's just been a trooper. We hunted 4 hours this morning. It's about 10 o'clock. She's got a play program, so we're gonna bring Zach back out this afternoon. Hopefully there'll be some deer movement.
John has Maximum, Biologic Plus, Clover Plus. His fields look like golf courses. We started having mature does come out in the field. They were nervous, walking around looking back. I looked at John, he looked at me, and we kind of both knew something's in the brush. Well, all of a sudden, here come a shooter.
Count to 5. Ain't time. No. Yeah, he's a shooter. Just let him get as close as he will. You're gonna have to really concentrate. Let him get as close. He's coming this way. Just let him keep coming. Let him keep coming. He's right there. Just calm down. Calm down. Wait a minute. Want me to stop him? Yeah, go ahead.
Burp. Burp. He hit him. He hit him, didn't he?
I think I hit him.
Wait. Let him go out of view.
That's a big buck.
Way to go, buddy. Way to go.
The shot was a little far back, so when it ran out of field, we decided to wait before we started trailing.
Big boy, I think you're there. I think you're there. Congratulations. Shy him a little bit too far back, but you know, that's a pretty good shot, 150 yards for a little guy. I think you're there, okay? But we're gonna wait till in the morning and see for sure, okay? This year's youth season meant a lot to me, and you know, we'd spent a lot of time with both of the grandchildren practicing, and you know, we presented Ashley an opportunity, but it just didn't happen. But you know, Zach stepped up to the plate and harvested his 3rd buck in a row. You know, it really makes me feel good to know that my kids and grandkids actually want to spend time with me. It's brought our family very close together. Zach, what's it feel like to harvest a deer like this?
Feels good to harvest a big deer like this, and they get bigger every year, and that's why you want to.
That's because you're letting the little ones go.
Yeah.
It all came together last night. About 10 minutes of light left. The buck basically ran into the field chasing the doe. Zach made a good shot on the buck. Ashley was unsuccessful the past 2 days during the youth season. The deer just didn't move, but she's pumped and we're pumped to help her. Ashley, for whatever reason, we just didn't get the job done, and I'm not gonna push Ashley. You know, if Ashley never hunts, that's fine. I still want her to go with us and enjoy all the camaraderie though, even if she doesn't want to hunt.
Probably spend $100 here just filling this up. These hunting trips think they may be coming to a slow halt here in the next few years if this stuff stays up.
Especially with 4 kids.
Yeah. It's been kind of a weird year this year for me because my wife Melody was pregnant, and she was due in November. At any point, I wasn't even going to go on any of these hunts, but I'd already applied for the tags before we knew that she was pregnant. Mel tells me to go ahead and go to Kansas and hunt with Tim. And Tim has been a real blessing to me this year. He's my new partner, and I've never had a partner before. I've just always been fortunate to have friends always help me out.
I filmed Ben for 4 days in Illinois, and with the weather, it was hot. We were walking around in t-shirts most of the time. It didn't work out for us. We weren't able to fill that Illinois tag.
We hunted some good spots, but the big deer just weren't moving yet. We passed up a lot of small deer, but nothing big.
Well, we get to Kansas, meet up with Ben's buddy, start looking at some pictures that he's got. He's big into monitoring game, as we are.
We got in to hunting right away. Tim was up to bat. I was filming him.
Like I said, we're running a little bit late. We was checking out a couple other farms, trying to do some scouting before we get in the tree. It's November 1st. It's 75 degrees. It's hot, but we've been seeing deer on their feet, so we're gonna slide in here and get in the tree. We've already spotted. We had to slide through this little bit of a bedding area. I don't like how we gotta get in here, but it's the only way. I already spotted a shooter buck kind of slipping through these cedars, so we're locked and loaded.
We got into the stand, we're set up. The sun is starting to go down, and Ben tapping me on the shoulder said, "Buck, buck, buck."
Well, we just had a buck chase a doe across this little cedar flat. It's tough to call him away from a doe. Hopefully she works his way before dawn.
We're on red alert. You know, we're waiting and waiting. Nothing happens. Some does feed by us. Button buck comes up, and the doe got away from that buck, and he come back out there. You know, we threw everything but the kitchen sink at this buck to get him to try to come over there, but there were just too many does out there on that flat. You know, he could just see that there wasn't a deer over there, so he wasn't going to leave those does to come over there.
That was a nice buck in there. I'd take that buck any day of the week. But the setup we was in, it would have been tough to draw on that deer anyway. But if not tomorrow morning, maybe tomorrow he will be back in here after him. He's a nice buck.
It's our first morning, second day there. I'm still up to bat. The stand that this guy had set up was just in a perfect funnel spot. Perfect spot to be, you know, when the rut's on, bucks are cruising. Come to full draw and my arrow's off my rest, of course. I get my marbles together, I get my arrow back on my rest, I come to full draw, and this buck, I could have spit over top of him. He was so close. He was almost too close.
Great shot, Tim.
That's what you call a Kansas bull right there.
Yes, buddy.
That's a good buck.
Yeah, it is. Good shot, dude. He's down.
Oh, yeah, we did all right. That's what I'm talking about, brother, right there. Deuce. That's my best buck right there. That's why we drove 1,000 miles.
It's our first kill together. Tim filmed me last year, but it was Tim's first kill, me filming him. And it was just awesome. It was a good time. Tim was really excited, and everything went well.
To go out there with Ben, have him lay it all down, it was just a dream come true for me. I wouldn't be laying behind this deer if it weren't for the man behind the camera, I guess, Ben Rising. He made this all possible for me to come out here. You know, I got lucky enough and drew a tag for Kansas. I've been trying for 3 years, but you know, this year I finally got it, and Ben also got a tag to come out here, and we got hooked up with the guy that he met that hunts private land out here, and this is what we drove 1,000 miles for right here. I'd like to thank Ben's buddy for letting us come out here and our wives at home, because Ben's wife, she's ready to have a baby any day now, so this one's for you, Mel.
You know, at Mad Calls, we've been very, very fortunate to have brought some fairly revolutionary sounds and fairly revolutionary devices to the marketplace. And we've been testing a new call that makes a new sound, the growl. Last year, Jeff Probst and Chris Probst laid down on film the vocalization that we term as the growl. This buck was in, there was a doe and estrus, she was injured, and he's growling at all these other bucks. And we worked and worked and worked on a prototype and finally nailed the sound. Now, the test was gonna be, could we then go to the timber and call deer in with it? I was lucky enough to shoot a nice deer on the first, and I grunted and growled that deer straight to my tree. And I'm saying, you know, is this a fluke? Massive tines, massive horn, good buck. So the next night we go out. It was November the 2nd in the afternoon, and we were sitting there, and all of a sudden, out through the grass, all we see is a white rack. Well, the buck didn't come. I didn't think that much of it. That's how it goes with snort, wheezing, rattling, grunting. Nothing works every time.
There's a big old scoundrel out walking for lots of daylight. He may still pop out downwind.
I'm sitting there hunting, and all of a sudden, out in the green field, I see a new buck coming. 2-year-old comes in, walks right on by. As he's in on us, I see the giant coming back.
Oh, Stephen over here. There's a
Did you hear him growl? Really, really big deer. He's got something going on over there because he just went, he growled. There's got to be a doe in heat up there or something. This could get good if she comes our way. He goes down into that hump. You hear him grunting down there, and next thing you see, there's does starting to pop up out of that hole. Well, the does and the little buck come out, and the big buck never reappeared. I'm assuming he growled at him, went down there, checked them all, no estrus. He went on looking for more does. Sign to see a little buck like that out cruising. I growled at him, grunted at him. Whoa, right in. They just can't stand it when they're all alone and they're looking and they hear other deer. Whoa, particularly when you're growling at them like that, it represents there's another doe. Buck nudging a doe. Just heard like a boom. Way up on that ridge, I just heard wham, wham. Was that a limb breaking? I don't think so. Stabilize. I've checked it 100 times this morning. It's supposed to be out of the south, but we're in this bottom, and it took a while to stabilize. Now that it did, they're going to start moving all the way. Of course, they've already been moving the young deer. You know, you always got to watch your downwind side because that's where the boogers are going to get. Right here.
grunt, growl, rattle, dead buck. Huge, huge buck. What a story. I call him the Big Six. We were all over that deer last year. And then I got wildlife by him right up here on top. And he's laid right here underneath the tree. Just smoked him here 20 yards. Heard like a fight up on the hill. So I rattled, then I went through a sequence of my call. And he just waltzed right in here, as pretty as you please. That concludes my Iowa bow season. November the 3rd, I'm done. Oh, these are the track jobs we like. These are the track jobs we like. There's my deer. Look at that sucker. Huge, huge deer. I'm proud to be with this guy right now, I'll tell you that. Look at that guy. Look at the base. See that? Awesome. Look at the size of that giant. I'm gonna say that's about as big a deer as I've ever killed body-wise. And boy, did he read the script this morning. He's read the script his whole life, virtually. He was kind enough to walk in front of a trail monitoring camera when he was 2.5 as just a big 6-point. Then last year, I got pictures of him in the summer in velvet. And then he broke his rack sometime in October or November, one side of it. Terry had an encounter with him on the 6-acre bottom field, and then I had an encounter with him just right behind me here up on the ridge during the late season. He came out of this bottom right here. He came walking straight up this point. And boy, he blew into a giant at age 4.5. He's still got that mainframe 6-point, but he added a G3 there. He added a kicker here. He's got a kicker back here, and he's starting a kicker here. Almost a G3 on the other side. But what a big, big, big deer. And because of the movement that we saw last night, we decided to go into their bedroom. And I seldom go to the stand because it's so tight. I wait till I know that these bucks are up and moving because, frankly, anytime you intrude into a bedroom, you're gonna affect the deer movement. So you wanna make sure that that first time in is a magical one. And it was magical this morning. Just bucks cruising. We could hear walking all over this morning. We knew there were bucks cruising everywhere. But that wind wasn't quite stable. I kept checking it all morning. And then finally, it came out of the south and felt real good, which is not too non-typical for this time of the year, especially when you're down low on a bottom like this. Finally got consistent, and up on the hill, we hear what sounded like 2 giant rams clashing. Rattled to them because I thought, well, if they're one's against the other, one's gonna lose the fight. So I rattled back, and then I started blowing the new call. Growling, grunting, trying to paint an audio picture that there's a doe present and there's some bucks chasing her. And it was just a matter of seconds, maybe a minute or two. And this guy come popping up, and I mean, he read the script. He walked in at 19 yards. He's trying to get downwind, and the new Hoyt Tricon did its job. Life just doesn't get a whole heck of a lot better. Huge, huge buck. I've shot 2 deer with my bow, and it's time to get back to the old days. I'm looking forward to Terry and Daryl Degg showing up, and I think old brother Terry and I might just get after him like we used to.
Where are you hunting at, mister?
I don't know. I got my bed made.
Look at that.
Yep.
Bed is made.
All nice and neat.
Nice and neat. You deserve a big deer for that.
Yes, I do.
We're gonna go out there, we're gonna rut hunt. I'm gonna be cameraman, Terry's gonna be hunter, and we're gonna film together until he kills one or he and I kill each other. We sit in this spot. I'm so anxious to get in there. It's this beautiful hardwood ridge, and I know any second there's gonna be a giant up here. Oh, they gotta be moving right now.
I like this secret spot. You know, I'm hunting here with Mark this morning on one of his spots. And supposedly this is one of his best spots, his favorite spot. Well, thus far, we haven't seen a deer. I kind of think he gargled me, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, it's the first morning during the rut that Terry and I have been together in 3 years, and we managed to see not a deer. Bad luck, bad karma, the two of us being together. It's not supposed to be. We may break the tandem up. Comment?
I agree.
Ditto. All right, so maybe Terry and I hunting together is not such a great idea. We're gonna flip things around. Terry's now gonna go with Brad Clement, and I'm gonna climb in and stay with good buddy Daryl Dagg, and I've got a special spot in mind for Daryl.
It's a shooter if you want him. He's a big, big deer. Kill him. You gonna shoot him or not?
Well, he's a shooter if you want. I recognize this deer because I've got wildlife eye of him. I haven't seen this deer in a couple years. He's a 5.5-year-old buck, and what a body.
Hope I don't regret that. First morning, Iowa. Just a giant of a deer. And I had a little window right there, and I had to make a decision, and I didn't shoot it. Then, of course, when he gets right beside me, then I start really wanting to shoot it. That's deer hunting. Dadgummit. I'm probably going to regret that before the week's over with. Yes, he will.
Daryl and I sit there all morning. We see some more great bucks. I mean, there's bucks coming by at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, noon. Finally, we climb down, and we climb right back up for the afternoon's hunt.
It's pretty tight quarters. It's the 5th of November. We had an awesome morning. The winds changed a little bit. It's starting to turn out of the west, so we made a move to the other side of the farm. We got a whole bunch of open prairie land back here with, I don't know, 5 or 6 fingers. There's just all these fingers that go out to these big old CRP grass fields. And they all come together right here. The deer ought to just pile through here. You know, when they start going to feed this evening. It's a sweet, sweetheart looking spot. There's a deer. missed him. It's 100. Oh, sometimes I hate this sport. 12 steps. That's one you wish you would have done. You know, that was a great deer. I want to cry. You mind if I cry for a minute? Will you turn the camera off?
I felt so bad for Daryl at that point. I mean, you know, to have a buck of that caliber, it's a huge deer. We had a history with this deer last year. Jared and I saw him on a food plot late season. I think it was a 9-point at that time. And the wildlife eye that I got of this particular deer this summer and this early fall just beats anything I've had. He's got bladed G1s. They lean in at the top, so he was very recognizable. He's a 5 or a 6-year-old deer, and I can't believe it just missed. I mean, just missed. And you just can't explain that feeling.
That was a great deer. I want to cry.
Well, I got lucky enough to kill my buck on the first morning there. Now Ben's up to bat.
You know, we're seeing bucks, and we're seeing deer movement. We're in some great spots. I had a super encounter with a really big deer that we just didn't get a lot of footage of because he's just a wise old buck. That's just how he acted.
There's a little bit of a drainage right there before this hill drops off, and he bumped a doe. She scared him as much as he scared her, and she kind of sidetracked him there for a minute. And he just wouldn't come down the hill after that, but we had him going, but he just wouldn't come the rest of the way. That just seems to be the luck I'm having this year, man.
The last day, we thought, hey, let's just try and change our luck. Let's just get down, maybe look around a little bit and put up a stand.
Well, we dropped down in this bottom and there's just cedar bushes are just shredded. There's this one little Osage orange tree that's got 4 scrapes underneath of it. When we're looking around and down in this bottom, there's no trees.
So we're looking around. We walk through this brush and all of a sudden we're sitting there looking and here's this windmill standing there.
We've taken the mad to a new dimension. We've got the camera stand. I hung it off of a windmill. And you can see Ben. If he kills one out of here, it's gonna be a miracle.
And I mean, this is a crazy spot. We're just thinking, you know, if this works, this is gonna be unreal. Well, it's our last night in Kansas. We moved the stands this morning. Probably the weirdest set we've ever set up. But we got a little front moving in here. It's cloudy, it's windy, the wind's to our favor for these stands, so everything's perfect for us. I'm hoping these deer are gonna move a little early to this Milo patch. Maybe give us a shot.
It's probably the highest I've ever hunted in my life. Right there, I think I can walk up and actually touch the stand. But I've got more cover than I've ever had, so I think it's gonna work.
And it's not long, and I see deer moving off through this funnel in this little creek bottom. So I try calling to him.
Ben can see a little bit out into this flat. I'm just watching him because I can't see what's going on.
You know, they don't really respond, so I back off and I wait a while. Well then, a little while later,
there's a buck right there. It's a good buck, he's too far. The windmill buck, buddy. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, buddy. Last day, last hour. Dude, I was nervous. That's a good buck, dude. It's not bad. That's a good buck. I don't believe it. I don't.
I'm so excited, and I want to, we've been waiting all week for my wife to call Melody because she's pregnant at home and she's not due till the 19th, but you just never know. And we've had this trip planned for a long time, and she was kind enough to let us go, and she just said, hey, bring me back some deer. Well, me and Timmy is bringing her back some deer, buddy. Yeah. Thanks, babe. I love you.
Now you get to call her with the delivery.
I'm going to call Mel now with her with some news. Deer down. Last hour of the hunt. We got down, found the arrow and everything, and we was just taking our time.
For us to go to Kansas, having 2 tags in short time, being behind the 8 ball that Mel could call at any time, and both of us filling our tags, it's just a dream season for both of us.
What's that lane right there?
We just pulled him out of these cedars here. He didn't go. He went about 100 yards. I was confident in the shot, but you just always try to take a little time and be cautious. Last minute buck right here, man. I just can't believe it's my last night in Kansas. That's how fast it can happen. It just blows your mind how fast it can actually come together. And I'm tickled to death. Now we're headed home, back to my wife, and hopefully I'll have my little girl here pretty soon. We left Kansas last night at 8:30. It's 9 a.m. here in Ohio, and we're still driving. And I'm sure our kids and families are going to be excited to see us, because I know we're excited to get back home. Well, we're headed to the hospital here in about 15 minutes. We've been waiting and waiting, and it's actually the due date. Hard to believe. And it's the same day I killed my deer last year. So this year I get a little girl.
We hadn't done a whole lot of hunting in October, and here it is, we're rolling into the rut now. It's getting into the first part of November. Man, we are anxious to get with it. Well, this is the week we've been waiting for. Today is November the 4th. We've been waiting all year to hunt this week here. And unfortunately, it's a little warm. It's almost 50 degrees, but deer have been starting to move good. We've been hearing some guys killing some good bucks, so we're headed out. We got our fingers crossed. Man, I talked to Mark Drury last night, and he said the bucks are really moving. So I finally got a few days off to get out and hunt, so we're gonna get after them this morning. Hope old big one comes by. Well, the first morning, November the 4th, we got into our stand. This particular spot, we needed a west wind, a predominant west wind, to really make this place work. It'll work on a northwest, it'll work on a southwest, but straight west is just ideal for this particular spot, and we had it. Well, we sat there most of the morning, and when you know it, I looked up, and Chris and I were watching. We kept seeing something move to the south. Here come a really big female bobcat and 2 kittens, and we got a little bit of footage of her, but not a whole lot, but it was just really cool to get to see a bobcat.
Just had 3 bobcats come by. Hardly ever see a bobcat. Just seen 3 of them.
The neat thing about where we hunt is we hunt very close to the Missouri border, and we got a pretty good game plan this week. We're going to hunt Iowa in the mornings, and Chris has got a Missouri tag to hunt Missouri in the afternoon. So that first morning we seen those bobcats. That was about it, and it was a pretty uneventful day actually for the 4th of November. And we headed down into Missouri to start Missouri hunting in the evening. And the evening hunt in Missouri was pretty much a bust. Just the only thing we seen both sets, morning and evening, was those 3 bobcats. Talk about some bad luck. It's 10 after 6 on November 4th. We're headed back to the house. We come over a hill here, and big old buck run out of this cornfield, and we hit him. That's what's left of his rack. About 140-inch deer. Came out, hit my trailer, tore my trailer all up. Can't find him. We looked everywhere. I don't know where he went. Sad way for a buck to lose his rack.
Big deer.
It's a great deer. I can't believe that. Here we didn't see anything all night on the stand. We come out here and we come in, we hit a big one on the highway. Man, poor deer. I hope it didn't kill him. Sure give him a headache though. Look at that. We live by this thing with deer season. It's a weather band radio.
Front is expected to push across the area on Friday morning.
Cold front coming. That's what we need.
Low in the lower 50s. High in the upper 60s. West wind 5 to 10
There we
miles
go.
an hour, shifting to the north in the afternoon.
We got back to the house, and wouldn't you know it, I was listening to my weather radio, and wouldn't you know it, the weatherman told me the words I wanted to hear. We were going to have a west wind on the 6th.
Yahoo!
Well, November 6th came, and sure enough, we got up that morning. I looked at the flagpole, and the flag was due out of the west. I knew exactly where we were going.
It's November the 6th here in the Midwest, prime time. We finally got a west wind. We need to hunt this spot. hunting a big ditch. It's a transition area between feed and bed. There's a heavy trail down in here. Tracks meandering all through here. From right here down to the bottom of this draw, there's probably a dozen big rubs as big as my arm. Some of them are as big as my leg. So we know there's a good buck traveling this draw. That's a monster buck. I'm shaking like a leaf. That's a monster, Chris. That could be a blue crockett deer. I hit him back a little bit, didn't I? Just never shot him. I was trying to stay off his shoulder. I hit him just a little bit back. But he's hurt real bad. He's staggering over there. He was barely standing.
He was on us so quick. We got very little footage of it. I just wish we could have got some more footage of him, but he pops in, he's 17 yards away. I make the shot, and I wasn't happy when I seen where the arrow struck him. You know, typical of a liver shot deer, he just, you know, he didn't go down immediately like a double long shot, but he looked to be in pretty bad shape, and I didn't think he was gonna make it very far.
Man, I'll tell you what, it's November the 6th, and I just shot what could be the biggest deer of my life. Unfortunately, I hit him back just a little bit. He was about 17 yards. We're gonna give him a couple hours before we even crawled out. We're gonna get out of here and come back this afternoon. I don't want to take any chances. I want to give him plenty of time to expire. I'll tell you what, I'm nervous. I wished I would have double lunged him, but I didn't. I know I didn't. But that happens. That's bow hunting. I just gotta make sure I take my time.
Well, you know, we made the decision. I told Chris, I said, we're going to stay in this tree for 2 or 3 hours and give him some time, because my fear was when we crawled out of the tree, he was going to spot us and see us crawling down and jump up and run off, and I wanted to give him plenty of time to expire before we even thought about getting out of that tree stand.
We climbed down real quiet. As soon as I got down to the ground, I walked about 5 yards to the right of the tree, and I could see him laying over there. I don't think he's getting up. When you shoot a deer through the liver like this, you got to give him plenty of time. I don't want to take a chance. Out here.
The deer looked like he was down for good, but we wanted to play it safe, so we just tiptoed out there and we were going to give him a few hours.
Well, we're going to look for him. It's 1:30. I shot the deer at 10 to 8. It's been almost 6 hours. Time we get down here and slip in here, it'll be 6 hours. So we seen the deer laying over on the hillside, but I want to make sure he's dead before we go in here. So I hit him back a little bit. I don't know exactly if I got a lung or just the liver. So we're gonna slip on in there, see what happens. I think we're okay. There he is, right up there. See him? That deer is a monster. I'm so nervous, I don't even walk up on him. Here, I will. Oh, thank you, Lord. Dude, he's a monster. Here he is right there. He didn't go anywhere. This is the day you dream about as a deer hunter.
is a monster.
Oh my God. Look at that. That is a Boone Crockett deer right there, buddy. That deer is Boone all day long, gross. I guarantee it.
Well, we walk up on this deer, and Chris and I are just ecstatic. I treasure this day for the rest of my life, and I knew at this moment this would probably, without question, be the biggest deer that him and I will ever take the rest of our lives together.
What do you think?
I'm jealous. That's awesome.
I guarantee you one thing, I'd give him back for you to kill him.
No.
Yes, I would.
Don't get that way on me.
Wow, would you look at this great big buck. I'll tell you what, this is without question the biggest deer I've ever killed in my life. You know, I come in here this morning and hunt this spot, and I was just hoping to shoot a nice, respectable, at least a 3 or 4 year old deer, at least a 3-year-old I was hoping for. And, you know, I don't have a lot of time to hunt this time of year with my work. I'm really busy, and little did I just didn't dream I'd see one like this come through. I mean, this is a monster deer. I mean, he's got points everywhere. He's got huge webbing mass here on his beam. It almost simulates a moose horn right here on this webbing. Big palmation, all kind of points. I think I counted 15 scoreable points. He's got one broke here, or he would have had 10 on the left. Just what a buck. I am just tickled to death. I told my son, he's running the camera, I said, we got to soak this up because this is probably the best deer we'll ever take together the rest of our lives. This is a beauty. You know, to take a deer of this caliber and to do it with a bow and to do it with your son in the tree stand with you is just an absolutely unbelievable experience. Something I'll cherish and I'll be thankful for the rest of my life.
He should have passed him. Let's see what he could have been next year.
And you know, the neat thing about it is he's got a Missouri tag, and we're going to roll back into Missouri tomorrow, and hopefully we can continue on. I mean, just an incredible day for us, and we just can't wait to get back in the woods tomorrow morning.
Well, it's November the 7th. I killed my big buck yesterday. I'm going to get Christopher out of bed. We're going to get after it this morning. Hopefully he can kill one in Missouri. So we had a big day yesterday. I got to get him up, get him out of bed. Sleeping Beauty. Hey, it's your turn to hunt, bud. You ready to go?
Yeah.
How about yesterday?
Yesterday was awesome.
Huh?
Yesterday was awesome.
Great day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We need to duplicate that today.
Let's do it.
All right, let's go.
On the morning of November 7th, we had a south wind. Really was kind of unusual for early part of November, but it was actually the coolest morning we'd had. We had a south wind. We knew what set we were going to. We were going to the Oak Ridge set.
Today is the 7th of November. Yesterday, we hunted. My dad killed a pretty decent buck. I mean, he's okay. But the funny thing is we were gonna hunt this set yesterday, and we ended up going to Iowa. But I'm back in the saddle now.
Tell you what, getting in the set that morning, just watching the sun come up, it was cool, calm, turkeys were yelping. Just a great day to be in the woods.
You know you're in northern Missouri when you hear all these turkeys yelping. It sounds like we're on a turkey farm or something. It's great. It's shaping up to be a beautiful morning. The sun's coming up. We'll kill one this morning. Nice solid 3-year-old. I don't know how big he is, but he's nice. My best buck.
When you know it, when he stops behind this big tree, Chris makes the shot, and unfortunately I didn't get the arrow impact, but you can kind of tell what happened. I mean, he got behind a big tree, and so many times when you're filming in the timber, that happens. I mean, you're trying to communicate with the hunter as a cameraman, and sometimes you get your wires crossed, you just don't hear each other talking, but all in all, it was a great hunt. He made a good shot on it.
You know, I shot that deer about 30, 35 minutes ago. We're gonna go ahead and climb down, go take a look at the scene and see if there's some blood. I know there was blood pumping out of him when he ran. When I shot him, I hit him just a little bit high, but blood was pumping out pretty good. In my mind, the deer's dead right now. I either got high lung or I hit that carotid. But we're gonna climb down and go over there and look at the scene, see if we can see some blood. And we'll make a decision from there.
Look at the blood here. You can't be far.
There's a foot.
Yes! Oh, God.
I tell you what, you can't say enough about November. This deer came in, and he wouldn't come in, so I started grunting at him, snort wheezing, and he finally kind of worked his way in, but a doe came up, started feeding acorns, and he just kind of followed her in. The amazing thing is, the doe came right past us, but the buck, as they always do when you call to them, it seems like they go to the downwind side. And that's exactly what this deer did. He went downwind. He started getting downwind. The doe was already downwind. She was 10 yards to the right of us. And he came in and we stood there for a while. And I finally got a shot at him. I'm shooting a Hoyt Ultratech, and God, I just love it. And what a deer. I'm so pumped. This is my biggest buck of my life. Look at him. That's awesome. What a pig. Big 4-year-old deer. Can't say enough. Big Missouri monster. That's awesome. After all the excitement of killing a deer, we finally got him up on the four-wheeler, which was probably the biggest hassle. This was a huge body deer. And I grabbed the camera and was sitting on the back of the four-wheeler and got some cool footage driving out of the deer, strapped on the front seat with my dad, and just an awesome day to be in the woods. And it was just one of those days you dream about as a deer hunter. I mean, 2 big bucks back to back in 2 days.
Boy, you know, as a father, there's none better for me. We spent 3 or 4 days hunting together. We'd seen several deer, and we both shot the best deer of our lives. And I was fortunate enough to shoot that 195 buck in Iowa, and I'll probably never ever top that. And having Chris there with me, and then going into the next day and getting his buck, it was just an unbelievable 2 days for us.
I've been in law enforcement now for 17 years, and every day I go to that job, it's awesome. You never know what's gonna happen. Well, first call of the night. Got a deer struck. How funny is that? 86. I'm gonna be 10-8 from that location, unable to locate. I'll be en route to the area where the deer's been struck. Well, here's the worst part about this. We got a nice mature doe with an injury. We're gonna have to put her down, It could be dead, it could be quiet. The next thing you know, that one special call, your adrenaline picks up and the rush is on.
Possible shots fired at the top of Peggy, unknown if they're actually gunshots.
I put in a lot of hours during my off time from hunting. I work overtime, I work extra shifts, and then when I really need it, I got buddies who help me out. They all put in extra time for me to take off to go hunting, and then when I'm done hunting, I pay it back. If it wasn't for my chief, Ron Weeks, who works with me on my schedule, if it wasn't for Kathy and Alicia, who puts up with me, I don't know what I'd do. My wife, Kathy, and my daughter, Alicia, they put up with a lot. How special is that to have your family behind you? So when it comes to my whitetail hunting and chasing my dreams, my family, my work, my buddies, it all pulls together. Chasing a dream, that's what teamwork's about. Yes! Pow! Pow! 2005 hunting season. Me and John's teamed up as team members this year, and we're gonna prove Mark right because he decided to hook us up, and we're gonna do it, boy. Well, season rolled around. I had one special set I wanted to hunt, and that was the gate set. We had 2 good encounters that first morning in the set. The wind was perfect, except for one thing. A shooter came in on the back side of us, which we wasn't expecting. The next day, wind changed, couldn't get back in it. You got a hot spot, the does are in there, the bucks are in there. You're just dying to get back in there. Well, here we are. We're gonna be in the gate set for the second day. Well, not really the second day, 2 days in a row, because yesterday the wind kind of messed us up, but the wind's right for it today. So John's got some good trail cam pictures of some nice bucks in the area, so that's a bonus, you know, knowing that there is bucks in the area. Anyway, we're gonna get in there today, and hopefully, you know, with the rut going on a little bit, we might be able to shake things up. Both me and John knew that this was gonna be a good morning. The deer were moving, the rut was hot, we were ready. As time went on, we seen a few deer, seen a few turkey, but it wasn't happening. We knew they were there, so we had to make it happen.
I tell you what, this deer movement's gotten tough. We've been hunting the last 3 days, and I mean, our first day we seen a nice deer, but I don't know, it seems like these deer are kind of like locked down or something, so we're gonna see if we can get them on their feet. I'll see if I can pull them out. You don't never know, you know?
Man.
I tell you what, we've been working hard. We've been grunting, rattling, doing everything we can. I know my arrow deflected off that limb. It went back a little too far back. But if we give that deer time, he will die. Man, we worked for that deer. My cameraman, John, he goes, man, dog, I heard a grunt back there. So we started rattling and grunting and everything, and here he came right there. Man, little four back. But he'll die, he'll die. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I saw my arrow deflect and go forward a little bit back. I'm gonna go get my arrow, check out the blood trail, back out.
Well, we decided to back out of there and leave the deer lay. We didn't want to push him due to the hit. Next morning, we got up and went after him. We got back on the blood trail, two-way radios, we split up.
You on there?
Yeah, John, go ahead.
Guess who's buying supper?
Oh, wow. Wow, am I ecstatic. To leave a deer lay overnight and you have to come look for him the next day. But when you know that hit's a little back, you gotta do it, man. You just can't push these deer. John was filming me yesterday morning, and it wasn't an hour and a half into the hunt. We did a little sequence on rattling and grunting. And this deer come running in, man. He come looking. Well, he come looking at the right spot because I had the old Hoyt bow and the sniper broadhead, and I tell you what, the shot wasn't the best, but it did the job. And for John to film this hunt, for me to kill this deer, I'm just totally pumped up, and I couldn't be more happier.
You know, all year long, Chris and I absolutely can't wait to get our hands dirty, get in the ground and start putting some food plots in, and this year was no different.
We're not farmers by any means, but we love going out there, getting our hands dirty, plowing and disking up the fields, throwing a little seed down, seeing if we can't get something to grow.
Well, I just got our corn planter loaded up. I told him we were gonna plant corn today. Unfortunately, our 4-row planter we usually use behind the tractor is tore up, and what I've got for him is, well, let's just say it's a surprise.
Where's the corn planter?
Well, we got a problem. It's tore up.
What are we gonna do?
Well, I got a solution. It's in the back of the truck.
Are you kidding?
It'll work.
Horse? Well, he pulls up to the farm. He don't have that corn planter. I look in the back of his truck. He's got a single row horse-drawn corn planter. Well, I didn't see any horse with him.
Let's load it up and see how it works. Think it's gonna work?
No. You know, I gotta admit, I didn't know how good that corn planter was gonna work, and it was popping that corn in the ground just pretty as you please. And, you know, I turned around and looked at Eric, and that thing was jerking him all around. That tractor was pulling him around that field. I was just kind of thinking, wonder what the old timers would think.
Well, after we got our corn in, you know, Chris and I wanted to go by one day and check it out and see what it looked like. And when we got there, I was a little disappointed what we found.
You know, Eric spent all that time pushing that horse-drawn planter, and the cattle got in here and eat it all up. So I hope Eric's ready to plant a lot of biologic in August.
I hope biologic's got plenty of stuff.
Apparently the cattle, the neighbor's cattle, had gotten through a gap, had went in there and trampled and eaten just about every bit of our corn. We decided to just plow up our existing corn, what was left of it.
You know, we went right back at it. We're putting down Maximum and Green Patch Plus for the fall, and it's one of them situations where, hey, the corn didn't work out, but we got our back up, our biologic, and can't wait for this hunting season.
I tell you what, this year our anticipation was extremely high. We had some unbelievable wildlife eye footage.
We went right after and right off the crack. We had our wildlife eyes going to work. And brother, let me tell you something. Did they ever go to work? We got a couple of bucks here in early bow season that we had targeted because of our wildlife eye footage. And we were bound to determine that we were gonna get a deer within the first couple of weeks of October. We tried really hard. Chris had, you know, a couple encounters with a couple of bucks we've been getting on a wildlife eye.
Right off the bat, we have an encounter with that big 8. And, you know, it just seems like everything was going wrong. I couldn't get a shot at him. You know, we go back in. I had an encounter with the big 7. He comes right up, he's just behind the bushes, and I don't know, I just couldn't get it done. I couldn't get an arrow through that deer.
You know, didn't deter us. We put our wildlife ice back out. We kept him going all through the fall. We got him on biologic. We kept him on the apple trees, and the footage just kept rolling. I mean, the bucks that we had coming into our biologic was phenomenal. We were getting just a giant deer on the active scrape. Because of all of our wildlife eye footage, Chris and I knew where we needed to be. So we knew where we wanted to hang a set. We went in, we worked for a good solid hour that day hanging this set. We wanted to make it super high just so we could observe everything we needed to see. And you know, it was one of those sets that when we got done, Chris got done hanging that set, it was one of those sets that I absolutely could not wait to get back for.
Well, we got that set hung. This is a beautiful set. We're probably 35 feet up in the air. We're right over top of biologic field. These deer coming up out of this hollow. Hopefully we'll get in here, give it a couple days rest, get in here and have some good buck action.
Well, here we go. We're on the home front in Virginia. It's an awesome time of year. It's muzzleloading. It's an American tradition. I tell you what, I couldn't be more fired up to get a tree tonight. We're going up here to a set that sits on the side of the mountain. We got a biologic food plot that sits right below the stand. It's a beautiful little food plot. And just off from it, about 150 yards, we've got about 10 or 12 apple trees that actually just still got apples on them. And the last couple of nights it's frosted and every one of them hit the ground. So what we're hoping is from all the wildlife eye footage on apple trees we've gotten last month, I mean, it's just been phenomenal at the footage we've been getting, is that some does will come in tonight. Maybe these bucks will start coming in here and bumping some does around because the next 2 or 3 days, the first doe should be coming into estrus. Or maybe a good buck will show up and we can do something with him tonight. I don't know. It's a good night though. Tonight, we're right here on a little honey hole food plot. Maximum right here, Green Patch Plus. We've got about a dozen apple trees below us. Should be a bunch of does in here tonight. And if there's does, should be able to shoot a bow.
Talk about exciting. This flock of fall turkeys came into this green patch plus we're picking. Well, they got in a corner, and while they were down there, a big male coyote came out, circled all the way around, and went down the burrow. But I'm hunting a big 4-year-old whitetail tonight, though. Coyote's lucky. Man, it's high pressure, cool evening, so things are moving. Still got an hour. Dude, right there. Derek, try to call him. Try to call him in. That's a good buck. Tickle his antlers, Eric. Wait a minute, he's looking, he's looking. Snort wheeze at him, Eric. He's going behind that tree. I don't think so. He's going to those apple trees. He's over in front of the wildlife eye. You see him? He's under that apple tree. He's under that scrape. He's working at scrape. No, he's not paying attention. Try to snort wheezing too. Dude, right there, right there, right there, right there. You shoot him when you want to, buddy. You just tell me when you get ready to. He's getting ready to go behind this tree. Yeah. Stop him. Boom, baby, right there. I mean, down right there. Yeah. Whew. My big buddy Tom Clancy would say he's gonna be down right there. Oh, ain't nothing like it, man. Ain't nothing like it. My gosh, me and Chris have sat out here and we've chased these bucks for 3 days. And my dad's been sick, laying in the hospital for 2 weeks now. Dad, that deer right there's for you.
Good job, buddy.
You know, as you go through life, the reality of life, you have highs and you have lows. And I think back in time, and one of my highs obviously is probably the birth of my daughter would be one of my best highs, obviously. But one of my worst lows was this year. My dad got diagnosed with cancer, colon cancer. Dad's the kind of guy his whole life, I mean, he's worked. He's never depended on anybody to do anything for him. He's just tried to do things on his own. He's always worked on farm and around back home. He's farmed his whole life, and I've helped him with his building fence, and he's also been a contractor. He's ran a contracting business for 35 years, and he's a working man. That's the way he grew up. That's the way I grew up, and all through deer season, he was in and out with surgeries and treatment, and it was a tough time watching him and Mom together at that time. But finally, toward the been away through November, Dad turned around. He made a great recovery, and it's one of those eye-opening experiences. It just kind of knocks your feet out from under you, and you put family first, and it really puts a lot of things in perspective to you. Oh, Virginia buck down, baby! Yeah! That is a big old, mature 3.5-year-old mountain buck. I tell you what, this afternoon was just one of those days that you just dream of. 11 months out of the year, Came in here the other day and we hung this set right over one of our little honey holes food plot. And tonight, you couldn't ask for it. I mean, it was beautiful. Had a bunch of turkeys come in early this afternoon and they came straight down the food plot and were under us. Well, while they were under us, we actually had a coyote come out, and somehow the two didn't know that one another was there. And man, it wasn't long, 5:30 this afternoon, he came out across the field and went down and was working a scrape. And you know, the only thing you can do in that situation, he was about 180 yards, so I grabbed my grunt tube, grunted at him, got his attention, but it wasn't enough. So then I grabbed my horns and banged them together and snort wheezed a couple of times, and man, before I knew it, here he come over the horizon, that big wide rack shining, and no doubt in my mind what I was gonna do. He walked up there, and I tell you what, I absolutely laid it to him with the old muzzleloader. Grew up hunting with these, and I still love it today. Awesome evening.
The hunt that I seem to think about the most, talk about the most, is my hunt with Taylor. I'm looking so forward to taking her during the Missouri youth season. It's become a family tradition, a ritual in 3 short years. Tracy's coming up, and she has seen Taylor take her doe. She saw her take her buck last year. And of course, who could forget Muffin when we first saw that deer? Who could forget the reason he's still alive? Those blueberry muffins saved his life. Jared and I decided to take Taylor out and do a little practicing.
When my dad got the bullets, he came home and said, usually little girls get dolls, but my little girl gets bullets.
3 boxes of bullets. Happy birthday, Taylor. Look what Daddy got you. You got it. You got it. This year, I decided to take water bottles. Last year, it was pumpkins. This year, it's water bottles. That gratification, that immediate gratification, when that bullet hits, they see the target explode. It's one of the best tips I can give you if you're trying to get a child into the sport of shooting. What size deer are you going to kill this year?
If we can see maybe like a 160 like we did last year, I think I'll go at it. But if not, that's okay, because I'm still with my family and I'm still enjoying the time with them, so.
Somebody's spoiled.
Yeah, she wants to shoot 160. So does the rest of North America.
Hey, you know what? So does Terry.
So excited.
The practicing's over. The season is upon us. Our first hunt's going to be an afternoon hunt.
There goes the deer for tonight.
You honked. Taylor wanted to honk the horn earlier, and I said, don't you dare honk that horn. Your dad will kill you.
I'll honk the horn. Brilliant.
We get into the blind. Taylor's got a little surprise for me.
The muffins.
Let's all eat a muffin.
I agree.
We have to in this
As soon
blind.
as we eat a muffin, muffin's gonna come out.
Now we're ready to start deer hunt. Ready to deer hunt. Right there, right there, right there. Did the muffins work?
The muffins work.
Unbelievable. The moment we got the blueberry muffins out, we've all taken a bite, and the deer just appear out of nowhere. They started pouring into that biologic field, and what a show.
Starting to come out. I'm getting nervous now.
Don't be nervous.
All of a sudden, a nice rack buck. Now it's decision time.
Gotta get her ready. Something's gonna happen here soon.
She passed that 2.5-year-old. Not a lot of hunters would do that, but that was her choice, not mine. She truly wanted to enjoy the experience and see what the hunt would bring.
Even though we might not shoot one, they're still coming out and I still enjoy it. I know
So the next day, we're back at it. We go to a little field, another biologic field on the other end of Brother Terry's farm. Before we went there, he said, I want Taylor to shoot any deer on the farm, but there is one pretty 2-year-old that I really hope she can pass. There's probably 40, 50 different bucks on this farm. There's no way we'll see that 2-year-old.
Oh no, that's the one Terry does not want shot. That's a pretty 2-year-old. Shoot. Unbelievable. Can you believe that's the deer that shot?
Is it really?
Yeah, positively, 100%.
It broke my heart to say, you know what, baby? That's the only deer Terry doesn't want us to shoot this year. I'm gonna get him back for that.
Well, it's the end of youth season tonight. Now I gotta wait 2 weeks until we can come up here during rifle season. We passed it was a 2-year-old. It was a nice one, 130 in the 130s. But Uncle Terry, his wish is that to let it grow and let it get bigger. So we went by his wish and we passed it. But we've seen some great deer. I love the movement. And it's awesome to be out here with my family. So I've enjoyed it.
The Missouri youth season came and went. She'd be coming back in 2 weeks, and we would again get to enjoy the Missouri General Rifle season together. I'm looking forward to seeing you too. All right, love you. Bye-bye. There's a phone call I always enjoy getting, particularly on November the 11th. We closed the chapter and we pressed pause just a little bit on the Iowa bow season, and I'm headed south to Missouri. And it's the gun opener tomorrow. We're ready for round 2 of the Missouri gun season. I'm gonna take Taylor on Terry's farm and see if we can have some luck. Can't wait to open gun season up tomorrow with Taylor. Thankfully, the deer are still moving. We are having encounter after encounter. And more than anything, we're having a blast in the Missouri deer woods. We're seeing some nice bucks moving, and then finally, a deer that, in my mind, is definitely a shooter, walks onto the field.
It's an 8-point.
Is it big?
He's decent. It's like the one you killed last year, honey. He's real similar. He's pretty nice. He's 3.5.
Do you want her to get her gun up?
Yeah, pretty good deer.
Good gun deer.
Yeah, that's a shooter. That's a shooter. He's identical to the one she killed last year. Oh, I got no weeds. Hold on. Went down there. Bat. I can't see him, Taylor.
I can't even. Don't shoot, so he's in them.
Let him come. He's gonna come through and check these other does. He's gonna come to our field to the left, I think.
Here he comes right at you, babe.
Get ready. That's not him. It's a 2-year-old. He ran off. It's not him. He's gonna show up one side or the other. Trust me, that's the deer he ran off.
I start calling, I start growling. I'm trying to get this deer's attention. I know he's in this hollow right in front of us.
There he is. See him?
Oh, yeah. Wait till I tell you. Ready? Bat! Kill him.
Did you get him?
Oh, yeah. You smoked him, Taylor. You smoked him. He's a dandy, babe.
Oh my God.
Good job. I'm just
going crazy here. How about you, Mom?
It's a nice buck.
Oh, he's huge.
Oh my God, I'm shaking. Oh, that was awesome.
The footage
I didn't get
is-
the other little camera, I'm sorry.
Which is good.
Footage is awesome. Footage is what I've been waiting for the whole season. Good job,
Oh my God, I got so nervous I could feel my heart. That was the first time I've ever felt my heart.
Oh my God.
Can we go look for him?
Yeah, we can. Yeah. Give me 5, baby.
I got to see it. I got to see it.
Awesome, awesome end to the season for me. I mean, as far as I was concerned, my season was complete. I know in my heart that these times will stay with me forever. I know I've said it before, but I really appreciate Tracy and Taylor, you taking the time to come and hunt with me. I appreciate you, Brother Terry, for allowing me to share your farm with them. Hopefully this installment of Dream Season means something to those of you watching it, because it sure means a lot to us. Family is so special. That's a beautiful deer, honey. And more beautiful than that is the way you handle that gun.
My dad always told me 2 inches over and 2 inches down, and I was kind of nervous. My heart was pounding. I didn't know what to do. It was so big. And I didn't know if I got it, but I did, so.
Oh, I was pretty sure you got it the way you kicked up. And let's recap everything that's gone on. 2 weeks ago was Missouri Youth Season, and you decided to pass on the first one you saw.
Yes, and I'm glad I did.
And then Uncle Terry had but one request, because we're on his farm. He said, I've got one beautiful 2-year-old that's going to be a giant someday. If by chance he walks out, I'd appreciate it if you pass it. And what deer walked out?
The 2-year-old.
We passed the 2, then we waited 2 weeks for Missouri Youth Season, and here we are. Now, next year we go up a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Give me 5 on that one. Good buck, Taylor. Good job. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You're turning into a good little deer hunter, you know that?
Yeah. I enjoy it too.
Good. I do too.
I love coming out here and it's a great time to see, even just every time you go out, you don't have to kill one. It's just fun, maybe just watching them in action. It's awesome.
Pretty awesome. Congratulations,
Thank
kiddo.
you.
Give me a hug. I am so proud of you. Good job, sweetie.
Evan, he'd really been excited about the trip going up to Illinois this year, just me and him spending some time together, and he'd been really pumped about it. But when the alarm clock went off and I turned that doorknob and walked in there to get him up, he wasn't so excited.
Hey, buddy. Time to get up. Okay. It's a long ride.
Do what?
It's a long ride.
Yeah.
10 hours. Ready to go kill you on them big Illinois bucks?
Yeah.
I can tell you're real enthused. I'll let you get up.
Okay.
But once we got him up and got him going, got in the truck, and he slept on me most of the way. And when we finally got woke up, I let him drive through Missouri and let him drive through Illinois, and that's the first time he'd ever got to drive out of state.
We finally made it. We just crossed the Illinois state line, and we've been in this truck since 5:10 this morning, and it's now 2:45, so I'm ready to get to the house because this trip has worn me out. I've been looking forward to the trip for a few weeks now. I was real excited about getting to come out here on our farm and spend some time with my dad and do what we just love to do and just have ourselves a good time.
Hey, buddy. Time to get up.
Well, it's December the 1st, and we're here at our farm in Illinois, and it's the second shotgun muzzleloader season, so we're pretty pumped and excited about that. We woke up this morning to some snow falling on the ground, so we're pretty excited about that, and we're ready to hunt one of the best spots on the farm.
Once we got settled in, everything quietened down. We knew it wouldn't be long before we started seeing movement. And sure enough, we hadn't sat there maybe an hour, and here come 4 does in, no bucks with them. So I told Evan, I said, let's go ahead and fill your doe tags.
It's the first day here in Illinois on the second shotgun muzzleloader hunt. Me and my dad are up here on our farm, and we come to one of the best spots on our farm, and a bunch of does come in on us early, and I was given the go-ahead on one, so I took the shot, and she fell right over here. We got up this morning and seen all the snow out here today, so we was pretty excited about that. We didn't see any mature bucks, you know, anything, but we seen the doe, and I had a doe tag, so we elected to take a doe, and she turned broadside on us and gave us a good shot, so everything worked out all right for us, and hoping for a good day tomorrow.
Cold weather hunting's tough, ain't it?
Yeah.
Like
Gotta
the
stay warm somehow.
Like the Michelin man, don't you?
Oh yeah. Gained a few pounds with this suit there. Yesterday morning, I was fortunate enough to be able to take a doe, nice mature doe, and we noticed the deer were feeding on acorns and stuff, so we know that the rut was over and they'd be back in feeding patterns, packing on the fat for the cold weather. This morning I seen a very nice buck, but I couldn't get a good shot at him. So the winds have changed on us, and we're going to try this cut cornfield and see what we can have for us. Once we got in the tree stand, we didn't wait too long, and here come a nice mature 8-point.
Shot on it. I love you. I love you too.
Nice, very nice 8-point. It's the second day on the second shotgun muzzleloader hunt here in Illinois, and it's a little late in the evening, and we decided to come out to this cut cornfield tonight. We seen this 8-point come back through on us, and he gave me a good broadside shot, so I'm ready to go see what this buddy looks like up close. Right there he is. It's a nice buck, nice mature buck right there. I'm up here on my dad's farm, and yesterday morning I took my doe, so the wind finally changed on us, and we noticed yesterday that the deer were still scavenging for acorns and stuff, so the wind changed for us, and we decided to come out and try this cut cornfield, because my dad's had a bunch of wonderful magic out here this year. He's took 140-inch deer out of here, so we come out here this evening and seen this beautiful 3-year-old 8-point, and decided to take him, so we did what we did, and here we are.
It was a great hunt, and at that moment there wasn't a more proud father in the world than me.
I'm so proud of you. You made a good shot on it. I love you. I love you too.
He finally got his nice material Illinois buck.
You know, when we decided to do a family theme for Dream Season 9, it was a special theme for Terry and I because our family is very close-knit.
Well, you know, it only rolls around once a year, but we really look forward to that family hunt that we have each and every year in Iowa on Mark's farm. This year, things are going to be a little bit different. For the first time in our life, my mother's going to go hunting, and for the first time in 40-some years, Ralph is hunting as well. Big Pop. We'll see how he does.
Ready, Bozo?
I am ready. We are going to go do it. I ain't bring my glasses, so.
Do you need glasses to shoot through scope or not?
Oh, no.
Huh?
Huh? I did? Well, then I better get them, huh? I did shoot with glasses.
Yes, you did.
Well,
they're all loaded up. What you got, mister? Talk to me.
Well,
tell us what we got going.
Going with a few seasoned hunters who are running the camera, and then the non-seasoned hunters are running the guns.
But who's the 3 seasoned hunters?
the three cameramen, me, you, and Mark, the three
Me
hunters.
being me, him being him, and Mark being inside.
The hunters are Ralph, Lucille Drury, Mark and Terry's mom and dad, my grandma and grandpa, and my mom, Linda Lurk. And it's a little bit of a circus, but it's a lot of fun. Heavy on the circus.
Circus it is.
Off to the woods. How do you feel, Mom? I feel great. And what's going to happen today? Deer down. How many yards do you feel comfortable? Well, about 10 or 15. Let's have one for the road here.
Well, we're really excited. We're going to split up this evening. Mark's going to take Mom to a box blind on a particular field where he knows there's a lot of does coming out, and I'm going to take Ralph with me in a box blind. We're both going to be, I don't know, within earshot of one another, so we should be able to hear each other shoot, but it's going to be a lot of fun. We can't wait to get in the blind.
Just like home. We're in a hotel. Like a hotel. This is Mark's living room.
Well, we got all nestled in there like two big old bugs in a rug, and as luck would have it, the does started feeding out, but the fog started to roll in.
Real slow. Take your time. Just go real easy. What they doing? Just looking. Straight at us. Huh? See her shoulder? Yeah, but she ain't quite broad yet. Okay, well, we'll wait. We're in a hurry. Yeah. Can I move? She's moving her sideways. Yeah, you move. Okay. Now don't shoot until I tell you to. And you make sure you got a good solid rest right behind her shoulder. I got her perfect. Whenever you're ready. I think you got it. Keep an eye on her. Watch where she goes in. Where she go down? I don't know. I didn't see her. In the middle of the field. Do you feel pretty good about the shot? Yeah, I thought it was very good. There she's down in the middle of the field. Is she? She ran about 50 yards, maybe 40 to 50 yards. She's down in the field. Cool. What do you think of that, huh? First one in how many years? Man, I mean, it's been... Hey, terrific, huh? What do you think about that, huh? You didn't believe I could do that, did you? I didn't. You didn't believe that could happen. That's pretty cool. How many years has it been? Prior to 1964, I think. Wow. So something about 62, I think. It was about 1962 since I've shot at a deer. Wow. But there she lays right out there in the middle of the field. It's so foggy you can't see it. I can see it with the gun, but you can't with the camera. That's pretty neat. I hope Mom got one. I just hope Mother got to shoot also. Yeah, I do too. Or Linda, either one. Yeah. Or Linda. Cool. Well, now we gotta go get the thing. Yeah. And we're gonna have, somebody's got to clean it, and I know who it's gonna be. It's gonna be you, not me. That would be me.
Yeah, that would be you.
That's cool. Good shot.
And best part of it, if they're all out hunting and didn't get anything, and I did, I will rub them a little bit heavy.
Cool.
But that, she didn't run over, I don't think she ran over 40, 50 yards.
50 yards, yeah. Good job.
Good thing. Now we gotta go get her.
Yeah.
What'd you hear, Grandma? I heard Grandpa shoot. Let's hope he's seeing deer down.
Deer
Deer down.
Deer down.
Look at that buck standing broadside.
I'm gonna take Mom, Taylor, Justin, Jared's brother's gonna run a backup camera. We're gonna see if we can get a doe within range of Lucille.
Look at this bunch on the right. It's a nice one.
See the closer, Justin. She's licking herself, that one. Are you on that one, Mom? I'm ready when you are.
Good job, Grandma.
Nice work.
Oh, I'm shaking.
Me too.
Exciting, though.
I'm shaking like a leaf.
Yeah.
Oh, is that normal?
Yes.
Yes.
Deer runs off. I was certain it was a good shot. Time to go get the deer. And we had heard Dad shoot. We're hoping that when we gather back up with them, he's got good news as well.
It has been since 1962 or 63 since I killed last deer. But this is a perfect shot. Boy, this is a beautiful animal. Look at that. That is nice. Let's tag her. I hope Mom got one.
The funny part was that he expected me to drag that deer all the way out there to the vehicle.
Now that looks like somebody pulling real hard there. I killed the deer and he can drag it. I always wondered what I had him for. Look at him go. He's really going. I think he's getting old. He had to stop and pause just a little bit. He's on another holy terrier, way he's going.
And then he wanted to drag it the last 15 feet and then take all the glory.
Hey, we gotta get out of here, boy. It's gonna get dark on us. Hey, we got her back up here.
Far enough, man.
That's good. Now,
It's tough on an old guy.
how come you don't put a hoist in the back of your truck, electric, to pick them up? That's what I'd have had by now.
We couldn't wait to share the story. All the hugs, all the accolades. Everybody was high-fiving, everybody was hugging. It was truly a family fair once again. This year proved to be the best yet.
Is that your first one, Mom? Oh, yeah.
That's her first deer.
Oh, my gosh.
Congratulations. Hey, pretty good, eh?
Mom and Dad have their deer. Linda wasn't quite as lucky, and the next morning, she decides to take her little Lucky Charm Taylor. Her, Jared, and Taylor climb into a little ground blind.
I see two on the right side. There's two coming from the right, Jared, two from the right.
Jared, that was so awesome. Did you see how they were right out there? What do you think? They were right out there in front of us. This is so much different than in the box blind because you're right down here with them. It was so much fun. Oh, I think I got a good shot on her, Jared.
Mark and Terry, thank you so much. This was just a ball today. Taylor was my lucky charm again, and I absolutely loved December 28th. So much fun. 20 yards right in front of me. That muzzleloader is just great. I have a really good time doing this every year, and I appreciate you giving me the chance to be with you boys, and especially this year with Mom and Dad being along. Jared, thanks for giving me the chance to be with you this time too. It was the first time I was with my oldest, and we had a really good time. Thank you so much.
Good time had by all. We're already looking forward to next year. Can't wait. I hope Mom and Dad can do this for a long, long time. It was truly, truly a memorable occasion. Well, good friend Mike Joggers always comes up every year and helps me with a really, really big task. Fortunately, Missouri has an antlerless only season, and it's an unlimited number of doe permits. And that is the time when you can kind of start balancing your herd. It's nice to have a friend that's willing to help you participate.
We got the wind in our faces, we got the sun at our back, and we got about 5 deer right over this hump. There's a doe here, there's a little spike over there.
Here in northern Missouri, the Conservation Department has issued unlimited number of doe permits. You have to purchase them, but it allows you to manage that deer herd the way you'd like to. If there's too many mouths at the table, you have to try and balance it out a little bit.
She's been standing there for 15 minutes looking at me, and she's not that far. And I knew this contender would do its job if I could do mine. I got a good solid rest, and I knocked her down. Let's go down and take a look at her. I've been sitting in this snow way too long.
Mike connects with the deer, deer goes down, time to drag her out.
Ready?
Couldn't ask for a better way to kick off the antlerless season. We've got a lot of work to do, a lot of harvesting to do, so we're gonna get to the work at hand. And we're off. Whenever you have a problem like we've got on this farm, it's not uncommon to see a doe to buck ratio of 6 to 1, 7 to 1, 8 to 1. It's time to fix that problem, and we've been trying to do that. We started last year, we're doing it again this year, and we're gonna continue to do it until we can get this overall herd health in a little bit better fashion or a better situation.
All right, we're gonna try and take the doe that's feeding there. Well, that felt good. It felt like good impact, so we'll see. You know, there's multiple reasons why you harvest does, but one of the most important reasons is the fact that when you have too many does on your particular properties, a lot of the does that come in to estrus do not get bred. Therefore, you get all of these drops late in the season. Instead of being born in the end of June, some of them are being dropped in the end of July, end of August, and then therefore the following year you start seeing all these little bitty spikes running around. And that's the problem that we have here. But if you want to try and minimize the length of the rut, then it will help your overall herd health by getting a shorter rut period. You'll have more mature bucks that suppress that testosterone level in the younger deer. The 1.5 and the 2.5, they don't go into that heavy rut activity as if they do right now because we got too many deer.
Well, we were saying that, you know, we had a job to do and a task at hand, and that's what we did. We harvested 8 does this evening. Mike shot 1 this morning, so a total of 9 today. And the only buck that we took was the one that Taylor shot with her rifle. And we're gonna continue shooting does and try and get this overall herd balanced out. We're gonna go sit over the top of the biologic field. They've got a weather front moving in. Conditions are pretty favorable. We should see a bunch of does this evening. Well, here we are. We're sitting there ready to do our antlerless thing. You know, we're trying to harvest does, And which buck would show up but Muffin, of all deer? I haven't seen Muffin since October the 22nd. This is the first time this buck has shown up. Of all deer to show up on a field, we're out here, it's antlerless season only. Archery tackle is still acceptable. You're allowed to hunt with the archery tackle during that antlerless season, but we don't have a bow. All we've got are guns in hand.
I'm glad to see that he's made it through another season. He's a Jim Dandy, he's an 8-point, he's nice. 155, 160 inch 8. Beautiful, beautiful deer, beautiful evening. Snow falling. I'm gonna be sick if he walks through here because I don't have my bow with me. There she is right there. That's, you talking about the big adult? Yes. Oh, she's a giant. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Muffin's right behind us. Okay. Okay, put your gun down.
All of a sudden, our mission that was in hand, the antlerless mission, has been put on the back burner. I surely don't want to scare Muffin off this field, so we just sit there. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. Muffin here at 25, 30 yards, and I do not have a bow in the blind with me.
That's a great encounter of a big deer. You just don't get to see that very often, particularly in the snow. Tomorrow evening, I'm gonna sit in this same blind and bring a bow. There's a good chance you get a shot at him. He walked within bow range of this blind. We'll give it a try.
Another day at deer camp. We may not kill any deer, but we're not gonna go hungry. Terry's outside shooting his bow. He's getting ready for Muffin tonight. He's doing all right. Hit 2 bulls out of 3, so he'll be all right for this evening.
Drawing the old archery tackle out again. We filmed Muffin yesterday. He's following a doe, and I've got a hunch that she's gonna go right back through there again. An old mature deer like that, he knows 3 or 4 days in advance of when a doe is about to come into estrus. A lot of those does that haven't been bred, which really reverts back to the fact that our doe to buck ratio is so far out of whack. She may have missed being bred in November, came back into estrus here in December, and now he's trailing her around, and I got a feeling that she may drag him right by our position.
Well, you know, we talk about biologic, and immediately one would think about the early season and how green and lush it can be and how palatable it is. Well, we found out late season it can be just as effective. Unbelievable. Beautiful 10-point, 2.5-year-old deer. In my mind, I'm thinking how much nutrition he's shoving down into his system. That's what you desire whenever you plant a food source. One for early season, middle of the rut, and late season to carry them through. Whenever those antlers start to develop in the following spring, they've had the nutrients that they need from that particular plant.
Looks pretty good from the side. Well, there's a buck I recognize. I call him my perfect 10. I got a whole bunch of wildlife eye footage of him. Only problem is he's missing half his rack. He wasn't perfect 10, now he's perfect 5. He's 3-year-old.
2 particular deer, my perfect 10 and also Muffin. Muffin has arrived, he's on the field. I know it's now or never. Here come the does. They're starting to file right past the stand. They're all one right after another coming right through our particular gap. I know I'm going to get a shot at him this evening. This should be pretty easy. It's going to be point blank, 25, 30 yards. This is exactly what we expected. Bolted about 10 or 15 steps, turned around, looked back at us, and walked on off.
Well, it almost worked. I came to full draw on him. I tried to stop him. I went, and he didn't take it. He bolted.
Going back to the same spot, one thing that you will rarely see us do is sit a spot repeatedly over and over and over. But this one I'm not going to give up on. He's been really, really consistent with his pattern. I'm going to try him again.
Here comes Muffin.
Well, there he is. He's out early, broad daylight, if you can believe that. Maybe tonight will be the night. For what reason, I don't know, but the field cleared. I don't know if it was a coyote or wind or what it was, but for no apparent reason, they just left the field. The saga with Muffin continues. I don't know if this is ever going to end, nor do I ever know if I'm ever going to get a chance to harvest him, but we've harvested several does. We participate in a plan called Share the Harvest every year, and there's a lot of less fortunate, needy families that really, really can use the meat. You know, we've been really fortunate to make the acquaintance with Sam over at Western's Meat Market. It's probably the cleanest facility I've ever stepped foot into, and you know, when you take an animal there, you know that it's going to be processed correctly. January the 11th, I'm back in Missouri. I'm going to give her one last chance, take one more crack at Muffin. He's only the most predictable deer on the planet, and I'm just not quite on him. He's not coming out where he was, but he's still on food. He's coming on to the beans.
Oh, Muffin is the one we've been looking for. That's him. And it's interesting to see that he's not back there where he was. He's way forward of that now. So it's a fun time of the year if you're hunting with a gun. It's not so fun if you're hunting with a bow.
Tremendous animal. All in all, I never released an arrow at him, but I know he's going to be there next year. All I can do is wait for the following year, kind of be patient, and dream about him. Taylor and I both got high hopes for harvesting Muffin. We'll see what next year will bring.
We're right in the middle of the 2005 Missouri firearm season. I've hunted very hard this year. Almost every daylight hour I've been in a blind. We do a lot of planting. I do a lot of management. One of my jobs is working for Drury Outdoors since I retired, and I do a lot of food plot planting and deer management for these guys also. We plant a lot of biologic, Maximum, Green Patch Plus, Clover Plus. I do a lot of work on the farm to enhance the deer population here. I'm getting older now, but all in all, this is probably my favorite area to hunt.
We got a south-southeast wind. We're gonna go down there in the center shooting house, the same one Coondog shot his deer out of. I shot a nice bow deer out of it, and Zach Blount, my grandson, harvested a deer this year. It's just an area, there's always deer there. We haven't hunted this farm very much this rifle season, so we're gonna try it this evening.
We had some does come in the field early.
I think they're gonna do it tonight. It's 2:50 and we've already got deer in the field.
And for no reason, they just sort of left the field.
She run back for him.
Coondog and I were sitting there saying, what's up with this? And we no sooner got that out of our mouths till a little 2.5-year-old 8-pointer came in. And he was just sort of like a statue in the field for what seemed the longest time. And the next thing you know, we had this deer step in. He was sort of quartering to us.
Good dog. Big buck, big buck, big buck. Oh, he's seeing you. Slow. Anytime. Yes. We had this huge deer just come out. I don't know what time it is. We haven't had any deer in the field for a while. A little 8-pointer come out and then this big deer come out. I mean, he's a nice deer.
You know, when you're shooting a muzzleloader, it's really hard to sort of see because of the smoke. When we actually got to the creek last night, I was a little nervous. There was some blood, but not a lot. And I knew I was on the deer. You know, he was piled up. He only went about 30 yards, if that. Coondog and I have hunted for this, not this particular deer, but we've hunted hard for the last 6 days. And we've passed up a lot of smaller bucks. And you know, the key to harvesting a big buck is just don't shoot the little ones. It's just that simple. Feed them and don't shoot the little ones. And we had does in the field earlier, but for some reason the does just left the field, and pretty soon a little 8-point walks in, and you know, I looked at him and let him go, and this guy walks out. And this is a nice, heavy deer, a beautiful deer with the muzzleloader. This is my biggest muzzleloading deer, one of my biggest rifle deers, but nice deer.
The buck growl, what an exciting new concept, what an exciting new sound. It was November of 2004, opening day of Missouri's rifle season. Jeff and Chris Probst are out filming on our Dream Season television show for Drury Outdoors, and they laid down some of the most incredible footage we've ever seen. Obviously, that doe was in dire straits. She'd been shot by a neighbor and then fell right in front of the Probst. And, you know, we felt like she was probably in heat. The bucks came in, they're swarming around her, they're growling, they're grunting, and we said, what if that sound represents some emotion, some high level of emotion? What if it represents that there's a doe and estrus? So I decided to try and get some components and try and repeat that sound. So then, as we headed afield in the fall of 2005, we wanted to do two things. We wanted to test the new call, and we wanted to see if we could capture more footage of bucks growling. The first footage you see is Terry Drury and Matt Klump, and they're on a biologic field. It's October the 25th. The rut occurred very early, and they've got this giant 170 class buck, and he performs the audio that we've been waiting to hear. So obviously, that big, wide, giant 10-point, it's the first part of the rut. It's the seeking phase of the pre-rut. Everybody's joining up at the food source. He's checking every doe in the field. One of those does was very close, and he growled at that doe. So now Terry calls me, he says, we laid the growl down on film. And everybody was so excited because here it is. Once again, we've got it documented on film. What did it mean? He's checking those does, and again, it's a very emotional call. He sees those does and he checks them. It didn't take very long. October the 30th, just 5 days later, I'm in a tree stand. I see this giant 155 to 160 class buck. He's working along the edge. He comes up over a hump, and when he sees a group of does, he growls.
Did you hear that? The growl. Did you hear him growl?
So now we've documented it twice. The next day is Halloween, October 31st. Again, the stage is a biologic food plot, and there's two bucks that are about to square off. So here now we have the sound for the third time in a little less than a week, and we're saying, you know, this could mean more than just an estrus doe is there. Here's a buck, he's running this other buck off and he growls at him. Obviously, it's something very emotional. These bucks they're driven to the point where it's beyond a grunt, and we're saying it may work well with rattling. So now, the next day is November the 1st, and it's time to get the call into the field and see if we can have some luck with it. It is the morning of November the 1st, and I have in my mind the first buck I see, I'm gonna growl to him. There. He came in, hit him, I growled at him, and I grunted at him, right to the tree. It took a grunt and a growl and a little coaxing, but as soon as he heard it, he was looking as to where that doe went because he had lost the track. When you see a buck nosing and looking, if he's upwind, he might be yours. A couple days later, once again, I have in my mind, I'm gonna growl if I see a buck. And in this case, I didn't see him, but I heard a buck walking down in the hollow below me.
I growled at him, grunted at him. Whoa, right.
I'm gaining more and more confidence in the fact that this sound is saying something to the deer herd. There's a reason to be here. I personally believe it represents the fact that there's estrus in the air, or certainly it's close to estrus, and when another buck hears it, he's coming to your tree. So later in that morning, up on the hill, I hear 2 bucks clash, and again, I'm gonna try the growl. Grunt, growl, rattle, dead buck. Grabbed the new call, blew it, boom, right under us. Here he comes. Probably the icing on the cake for me was when a gentleman by the name of Rich Ball from Tennessee emailed our office and he said, I've just recorded an unbelievable event in the deer woods.
Hi, I'm Rich Ball, and I'm going to tell you about an exciting hunt that I had this year up in Pike County, Illinois on November 14th. The most exciting day that I've ever had in the woods. I was already tagged out, so I couldn't shoot a buck, but I was up there to shoot some does. At about 8 o'clock that morning, I had a nice big mature doe come in, and I was able to shoot her. She ran up into the cornfield about 20 yards and died, so she was laying there about 40 or 45 yards from me. A nice 11-pointer, 3.5-year-old mature deer. He was cruising the edge of the cornfield, and he came upon this doe and started looking at her and sniffing her and walking around her, and then they were kind of behind some trees, so I wasn't able to film him. I was just kind of sitting there holding my bow, watching him, and then all of a sudden I see the doe. She flips through the air. Well, this buck had gotten his horns underneath her and started to gore her, and actually picked her up and flipped her over. And when he did that, he made this unbelievably loud sound, this really loud grunt or growl or groan or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, it scared me. I mean, I jumped in the tree stand. I remember doing that. Within a couple of minutes after that, 2 or 3 bucks came in from different directions, and he started pushing her around on the ground again and goring her. And by this time I was filming, and then one of the bucks came in below him a little too close, and he made that sound like 5 different times. It was unbelievable how many bucks came in. I saw bucks coming from 200 yards away across the cornfield. They came from behind me. They came from the left, from the right, from upwind, from downwind, from every direction. Why did these bucks come in from all directions? They had heard that sound. It's a sound that evidently is a dominant buck sound. It's designed to run off other bucks, when there's competition for does, and it certainly has the effect of bringing in a lot of deer. I don't think I've ever seen that many bucks that quickly. At that point, I knew that if anybody could produce a call that would duplicate this sound, that it would be incredible. It would be revolutionary. I cannot wait to go back to Pike County next year in November and use that call.
The mad growler addresses today's current deer biology. Leave it to Grant to talk about deer biology. More and more hunters are passing up immature bucks and harvesting an adequate number of does to balance the adult sex ratio. This is resulting in changing breeding behavior all across America. The deer now have competition for the rut, makes a shorter, tighter rut, and more aggressive rutting behavior. Rub and scrape frequency is increasing, and the vocalizations associated with breeding behavior is also becoming more frequent out in the wild due to these greater supply of mature bucks. The mad growler has perfect timing for these changes. When you're hunting an area that has an ample supply of mature bucks and there's sure enough competition for the breeding rights, those bucks tend to get very aggressive and frustrated. The mad growler replicates perfectly the loud bawling grunt sound of a mature buck that is impatiently waiting on a doe to become receptive for breeding. He's tending her, he's guarding her, he's wanting to move on, and he'll just scream at her at times. And that's the mad growler. The growler is a great tool for modern deer management.
There are a lot more hunters in the woods these days, both man and beast.
Coyote populations have boomed to all-time highs.
And so has the popularity of pursuing these predators.
To put the drop on an animal,
with survival skills honed to the extreme,
you really have to sharpen your own.
You have to leave behind passive hunting methods.
You have to pull rank
and step up to the role of dominant predator.
Think you're up to it?
Join the Drury Outdoors pack
as we prowl across 2 countries and 7 states to bring you more than 20 hunts.
Watch as we stand at the very top of the food chain and give it a big old yank.
By using every means possible, from dogs to traps to calls to 4x4s to helicopters.
It is pure predator madness as we take this production outside the norm.
Not all methods presented are our choice or our style,
but they are real in the world of predator pursuit.
Drury Outdoors. Our videos are different.
And this one's way different. Welcome to Elk Madness 2. Here we are in the Gila National Forest out here in New Mexico, just one of the many locations we're going to be taking you to and through in this production.
The madness continues as you follow the entire Drury Outdoors team through one of the hardest seasons in recent memory. From October to January, the teams are hunting hard to connect on the perfect buck, and we invite you along for the journey. Terry Drury has encounter after encounter, but struggles to close the deal until the last minute. Joe Schultz makes an incredible discovery when he harvests a 140-inch doe. As an added bonus, we have a couple of big leaguers in camp. Can they outperform the seasoned Drury hunters, or are their skills only honed for swinging the bat? No matter how you cut it, this year's Whitetail Madness promises to be gripping, tense, rewarding, and emotional. Ever wonder why a hunter hunts from a particular location? Well, wonder no more. The entire Drury Outdoors team shows you the how and why of stand placement and stand hanging. The 6th volume of the 100% Wild series, Hang to Kill, promises to take you from ground blind to tree stand, from field to forest, and from bedding area to biologic, in search of the perfect place to hunt deer. In addition to all the in-depth information, Hang to Kill shows hunters successfully harvesting deer using proper stand placement. Jason Irish is the first Drury team member to bag a whitetail for the 2nd year in a row, and Keith Keene connects on a 173 2/8-inch giant, the biggest buck of his life. You may not have liked school, but you'll love all that you'll learn from 100% Wild Volume 6, Hang to Kill. It was the hottest new show on the Outdoor Channel in its first season, and the 2nd season of Dream Season took viewers to a whole new level of outdoor television. If you missed any of the heart-pounding episodes, or if you just want to relive the thrills, then our Pros vs. AMs Dream Season Season 2 DVD can deliver. We took 2 Drury Outdoors Pro teams and pitted them against 3 amateur teams who had never filmed professionally before. The teams went through 4 different stages, including The daunting early season, a North Missouri pre-rut hunt where the teams faced off head-to-head, the grueling rut back home, and finally a late rut group hunt in the Black Belt region of Alabama. It was the must-see event on television since the winning amateur team would be coming aboard with Drury Outdoors as a member of our pro staff. Relive all the excitement, the drama, and the up-close and personal encounters with the most majestic animal in North America, the white-tailed deer. $15 killed over 2 DVDs. This is Pros vs. Ams Dream Season, Season 2 on DVD.
Monster bucks in the area. It's amazing.
Hello, I'm Jay Gregory.
And this ain't the big one. Cool. All right.
Hi, I'm Wyatt Gregory, and welcome to the Wild Outdoors.
I just nailed the monster.
Hi, I'm Tammy Gregory.
I got my buck. I'm speechless, and that doesn't happen often. Just an unbelievable deer. Look at that. The obsession continues. Whitetail Obsession 6. Welcome to Bulls and Bucks. He just got long top.
It's big, 15, 16.